There's a specific kind of silence that happens when someone realizes they can't retire when they thought they could. It's the silence after the financial advisor finishes talking. The "let me just run those numbers one more time" silence. A whole lot of people are headed straight for that exact moment, and most of them have no idea. And it's not because they're dumb or lazy, it's because broke retirements are built quietly, out of ordinary choices that all felt fine at the time. The scary part is how invisible it is while it's happening. The good part is that it's not actually invisible. There are clear warning signs, and they show up years before the silence does. So, today, we're walking through those signs and the fix for each one so that future moment goes a whole lot better for you. Let's get into it. Sign number 1, you have no idea how much money you actually need. This is the big one, the granddaddy of them all, the one that catches more people than a Florida tourist trap. You have absolutely no idea how much money you need to retire. And look, I get it. When someone asks, "How much do you need to retire?" the honest answer most people give is a long, thoughtful pause followed by, "A lot?" Which is technically correct. Here's the problem. If you don't have a target, you can't aim at it. You're basically driving cross-country with no destination, no map, and a gas tank you refuse to look at. You'll find out where you end up the same way everybody does, by running out of gas on the side of the highway with a sandwich you packed 3 states ago. Most people dramatically underestimate the number. They think, I'll need way less when I'm retired. I won't have a commute, I won't buy fancy work clothes, I'll just sit around being old and frugal. Yeah, except retirement is also when you suddenly have 40 hours a week of free time and nothing to do but spend money. The cruises, the grandkids, the hobbies. Do you know how expensive it is to suddenly decide at age 68 that you're a guy who's into woodworking now? Those table saws don't grow on trees. Well, the wood does, but you get my point. Here's how to fix it. There's a rough rule of thumb that financial folks love, and we have a video going into details about it. It's called the 25X rule. You take however much you want to spend per year in retirement, and you multiply it by 25. So, if you want to live on, say, $50,000 a year, you'd aim for a nest egg of about $1.25 million. Now, is that number perfect for everybody? No. Your situation might be different, but the point isn't to nail it to the penny. The point is to actually have a number, to know what mountain you're climbing instead of just wandering around the foothills hoping you trip over a pile of money. Sit down this week, figure out what you want your life to cost. And while at it, congratulations, you're already ahead of most of the population. Sign number 2, you're carrying debt like it's a personality trait. And not the cute, manageable kind. I'm talking about debt that follows you around like a stray dog you accidentally fed once. Now, I want to be fair here. Not all debt is created equal. A reasonable mortgage at a decent rate? Fine. A car loan that isn't completely insane? Okay. But credit card debt sitting at 20% interest while you make minimum payments? That's not debt. That's a financial parasite. That's a tiny vampire living in your wallet, draining you a little bit every single month, and you've somehow learned to live with it like it's just a quirky roommate. Here's why this is such a brutal retirement killer. When you retire, your income usually goes down. That's just how it works. You go from a paycheck to a fixed amount of money you have to ration out. So, if you walk into retirement still dragging a bunch of high-interest debt, you're now paying that vampire out of a much smaller income. And the truly sneaky part is debt compounds against you the exact same way investing compounds for you. It's the dark mirror version. Every dollar of interest you pay is a dollar that's not in your retirement account growing into $10 over the next 30 years. Here's how to fix it. First, stop the drain. Quit adding new high-interest debt. I know, revolutionary advice, hold your applause. Then attack what you've got. There are 2 popular methods. The avalanche method, where you throw every extra dollar at your highest interest debt first, because mathematically that saves you the most money, or the snowball method, where you pay off your smallest balance first to get a quick win and build momentum. The math nerds will tell you avalanche is technically better, and they're right. But you know what's even better than the technically optimal method? The one you'll actually stick with. If knocking out a small debt makes you feel like a champion and keeps you going, do the snowball. Money is emotional. Use that. The goal is simple. Walk into retirement owing as little as humanly possible, ideally owing nothing. Imagine retiring with no monthly debt payments. That's not a fantasy. That's just a series of good decisions stacked on top of each other. Sign number 3. You're not investing, you're just saving. This one breaks my heart a little because the people who do this are trying. They're being responsible. They just got some bad information somewhere along the way. You're saving money, but you're not investing it. There's a giant difference, and not knowing it is one of the most expensive mistakes a person can make. Saving is putting money in a savings account where it sits there, safe and cozy, earning approximately the interest rate of a damp paper towel. Investing is putting your money to work so it can grow and multiply over time. The thing is, there's a silent thief in the room, and his name is inflation. Every year, prices go up a little, your morning coffee, your groceries, your gas, and if your money is just sitting in a savings account earning basically nothing, it's actually losing value every single year because it can't keep up with rising prices. So that pile of cash you've been so proudly stacking under your mattress, metaphorically, or let's be honest, for some of you literally, it's quietly shrinking. The real magic is compound interest. This is where your money makes money, and then that money makes money, and it all snowballs into a glorious avalanche of wealth over time. But, and this is critical, compounding needs 2 things to work its magic: a place to actually grow, like the stock market, and time, lots and lots of time. Here's how to fix it. If you've got money sitting in cash beyond your emergency fund, it is better off invested. For most regular people, the boring, beautiful answer is low-cost index funds. These are baskets that hold tiny slices of hundreds of companies all at once, so you're not betting on one horse, you're betting on the whole racetrack. Do research or talk to a professional to understand the options available to you. Remember, the single most powerful thing you have isn't a hot stock tip, it's time. Which brings me, conveniently, to the next sign. Sign number 4. You keep saying, "I'll start later." Your retirement plan is built entirely on the word later. I'll start investing when I make more money. I'll start when I pay off this thing. I'll start when the timing's better. I'll start next year, I promise, pinky swear across my heart. My friend, later is where retirement plans go to die. Let me hit you with the most painful math you'll ever love. Imagine 2 people. Person A starts investing $300 a month at age 25 and then stops completely at age 35. Just 10 years of investing, then nothing. Person B waits, starts at 35, and invests $300 a month all the way until they're 65. That's 30 straight years of investing. So person A put in money for 10 years, person B put in money for 30 years. 3 times as much effort, 3 times as much money invested. Who has more retirement? Plot twist, it's frequently person A, the early starter, the one who put in less money but gave it more time to grow. Because those early dollars had decades to compound, and you simply cannot catch up to that no matter how hard you hustle later. Time in the market beats timing the market, and it beats waiting around for the perfect moment that never actually shows up. This is why starting late is such a quiet killer. You don't feel the cost today. You feel it 30 years from now when you do the math and realize that waiting cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's the most expensive procrastination on earth, and you don't even get the fun of binge watching a show while you do it. Here's how to fix it. Start where you are, with whatever you've got. The amount matters way less than the act of starting and the time you give it. And if you're watching this thinking, well, that's bright, but I'm already 50, I missed the boat. First of all, no. The second best time to start is right now. Yes, the absolute best time was 20 years ago. We can't fix that. But the worst possible move is to use being late as an excuse to never start at all. That's like missing the first 10 minutes of a movie and deciding to just walk out. Sign number 5. You're missing out on your 401k match. I'm talking about an employer 401k match. If your job offers to match your retirement contributions and you're not taking full advantage of it, you are doing the financial equivalent of your boss walking up to your desk, holding out a stack of cash and saying, "Here, this is for you," and you going, "No thanks, I'm good." Who does that? Nobody turns down free money in any other situation. If someone offered you a free taco, you'd take the taco. You might not even be hungry. You'd take it on principle. But somehow people walk right past retirement money every single payday like it's a flyer for a gym they'll never join. Here's how it match typically works. Your employer says something like, "We'll match your contributions up to a certain percentage of your salary." So if you put in money, they put in money too. Sometimes it's dollar for dollar. That's an instant 100% return on your money before it's even invested in anything. There is no investment on the planet that gives you an immediate 100% return. It doesn't exist, except this. Here's how to fix it. Go look at your job's retirement benefits today. Find out if there's a match and exactly how much it is. Then, at absolute minimum, contribute enough to get the full match. And while you're in there, check what your money's actually invested in. Some people sign up for a 401k, get the match, and then leave the money sitting in a default low growth option doing nothing. Make sure it's actually invested for growth, not just parked in the financial equivalent of a waiting room. Sign number 6. Your lifestyle grows every time your paycheck does. Every single time you get a raise, your lifestyle gets a raise too, and the two of them are locked in a match where the only loser is your future self. This sneaky little villain has a name. It's called lifestyle creep. It's when you start making more money and instead of saving the difference, you just upgrade everything. Bigger house, nicer car, the fancy streaming bundle with all the channels you'll never watch. Suddenly, the raise that was supposed to set you free just bought you a more expensive version of the exact same paycheck-to-paycheck life. The truly insidious part is how reasonable each step feels. I work hard. I deserve the nicer car. I earned this. And sure, maybe you did. But here's the trap. If your spending rises to meet your income every single time, you will never feel rich no matter how much you make. You'll just be broke at a higher price point. I've seen people who make a fortune and have nothing to show for it, and people with modest incomes who quietly built real wealth. The difference almost never comes down to how much they made. It comes down to the gap between what they earned and what they spent. That gap is the whole game. That gap is your future. Here's how to fix it. Next time you get a raise or a bonus, before your brain starts shopping, decide ahead of time that a chunk of it, say half, automatically goes towards your future. Investments, debt payoff, your retirement accounts. You can absolutely enjoy some of it. You earned it. Go have fun, get the nicer thing, but split it. Let your present self and your future self both get a piece. The trick is to do it automatically before you ever see the money, because the version of you holding a fresh bonus check is not to be trusted. He's already mentally on a beach somewhere. Take the money out of his hands before he can do something dumb with it.
Going broke in retirement isn't some random lightning strike that hits people out of nowhere. It's the slow, predictable result of a handful of warning signs that show up years in advance. But here's what I really want you to walk away with. Every single one of those is fixable. Every one. Not one of them requires you to be rich or a genius or to win the lottery. They just require you to notice the sign and actually do something about it. You don't have to fix everything today. That'd be overwhelming, and you'd probably just close the app and go make a sandwich. But pick one. Maybe today you finally figure out your retirement number, or you go check if you're getting your full 401k match, or you open an investment account and put in your first 20 bucks. One brick, that's all. Because future you, that 67-year-old in the recliner, is counting on present you to make a move. And the beautiful thing is, present you has the one thing future you would give anything to get back: time. So use it. If this was helpful, you know what to do, and drop a comment telling me which of these hit a little too close to home. No judgment. We're all just trying to not be broke on a recliner.